Bhagwan used to say, Pattini Dedeyo, Pattane Pattitivi, Patti Neggedu Daka Atte Yundu, Korina Dedeyo, Korine Koritivi, Korika Chelledu Daka Taralakundu, Adigini Adagane Adigitivi, Adigini Tidu Daka Vidavakundu, Talachini Talachane Talitivi, Talapu Daka Taralakundu. Do not give up what you have come to seek, come to receive. Do not give up halfway through. పోరు పడలేక తానేనా బ్రోవవలయు వదలతెలియక నేనేనా కదలవలయు అంతేగాని మధ్యలో ఆపివేసి తిరిగి పోవుట భక్తుని దీక్ష కాదు. It's not the right attitude of a devotee to give up the pursuit of God or whatever he is decided to pursue halfway through. That's not the way of the devotee. Either the God should relent by looking at your persistence, or you should die pursuing whatever you have decided to pursue. But giving up halfway and going away is not the quality of the devotee, he used to say. And this is something that has been ingrained into all of us who are the missionaries, that whatever we have decided to do for God, we must not give up halfway through. We must do it and see to that it is done, whatever it takes. Why I am particularly raising this thought is because when I looked at the Nigeria school video and the hospital video and all, it took me back in time to those days when we first visited that little village. It's called Ebe, in a place called Enugu, which is the town, and it's in Nigeria, as you already know. So it's not a central location, it is quite in the outskirts. And we have to we land in the international airport of Lagos, which is one of the large cities. And from there you take another flight of an hour to Enugu. And from Enugu you have a road journey of 1.5 hours through roads full of potholes and many dirt roads in between and things like that. And finally you will reach this very little village in the middle of nowhere. That's where this ashram is. What has this got to do with this idea of being determined, being persistent, being consistent in your effort towards God? This was established by one father by name Father Charles Okada. He was a young Christian priest who was born in a family with enough for everyone, and he had the option of pursuing medicine. Could have become a doctor because his father was well to do. Born with a silver spoon, so to say. But his experiences in his childhood, where he had a calling, that God is calling him to do his work. And though he had not met any God per se, but there was some kind of a calling in his heart, some experience of a divine presence, which made him abandon the pursuit of medicine, which his father wanted him to do, and rather take to a seminary and become a priest. So he went on to study in a seminary in Enugu, and his father, the one who is to teach him, imagine it's a very orthodox Christian state. You can't talk about other gods and religions over there. It is not as easy as it looks in the video. But his teacher, who was teaching at the seminary, that father told him about Satya Sai Baba, saying, if you want to really meet God on earth, Jesus like a personality, you'll have to go to India to see one person by name Satya Sai Baba. And that's how you would know what God is like. And this young man, though he was studying in the seminary, quietly left one day and came to India and met Bhagwan and was profusely blessed by Bhagwan. Then he went back, only to find that all his luggage was kept outside the seminary, and he was actually kicked out of the seminary for visiting a Hindu religious personality. He did not know where to go because he can't go back to his home, nor he can go back to the seminary. And that father who was in charge of the seminary was also given some kind of a warning or punishment, and he had to leave the seminary unceremoniously in the middle of the night. And then he wandered. I think one of his friends somewhere sheltered him. But that was his calling. He said that whatever it takes, I will not give up the path of God. I have found my calling in Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba. I feel his divine presence in my life, and I'm committed to the mission of doing good to the world. And that is how he started this little place in Ebe, which is called Joy Village. That we named it Joy Village when we visited for the first time. There he had a small orphanage with a couple of young children and a small church, chapel that he had built get it to be inaugurated when we visited, I think in 2015. And Nasimurti was there, Isaac Tigrit was there, also Sri Srinivas were there. So this is the small chapel, yes, annually it's called. And he put a Sarvadharma stupa over there. It's quite bold. You might think you stay in Satyasai Grama or more or less in India, you may think it's quite easy to put up Sarvadharma stupas and talk about all religions and God. It's not as straight and easy in such orthodox, um, very strict and stringent kind of a culture which Nigeria has. But he set up this particular church, and what he started doing is he started giving different kind of services to the people in and around. He brought drinking water for them. He put bore wells, brought water, allowed people to take water from that tank, which helped so many villages around his place. Uh, Many of us who just get the water at the turn of a tap may not even realize that there is a world out there which exists where people don't have access to even clean drinking water in many places in India also, but mostly in Africa. So he did that. Liquid Love was the project. From there he started, then he built a small school and orphanage, and it's called the Embodiments of Love Academy, TELA, the Embodiments of Love Academy. And that's where he had some children. Then he came, he found out that it is here, I think it was Kunal Ganjawala, his good friend, who told him, and they landed here. And then he found that this is his place, this is his calling. He felt reconnected to Bhagavan, and he said, I want to invite you all to Joy Village. We had never been to Nigeria. Remember, this is 2015. The mission was just coming out of the closet, you can say. Nobody knew what's going on. And then we all traveled to Nigeria, and some of our alumni friends were there. They all organized things. So we went there and met all the children. We were very thrilled to see how a single man's persistence, his commitment to developing his community was leading to such great things over there. This was a small beginning. And those children also got very connected to us. And father worked. We went back the next year. And this is a very interesting episode, because if the first episode was all about father's commitment to this mission being tested, the next episode was our commitment to the mission being tested. I will not give all the details, but just to give you what it takes to set up a mission far away in a country like Nigeria, where people really believe in multi-religious or all these things, and plus there are many people who are against this. So it was, we were opening a hospital, thanks to some devotees from Singapore. They understood the need for a hospital over there because a lot of mother and child healthcare requirements were there. A lot of women were delivering at home, babies were dying. So father said it will be good if we have a small hospital. So we all got together, and I told some other people, this a delivery room, a small operation theater, few wards, labs, and things like that. So it was ready for the next year, 2016, when we were visiting again, I believe. And that is when we went there, and the hospital was inaugurated. The whatever their federal investigation department, whatever they call it, I do not know, something like some agency which is like our CBI, Central Bureau of Investigation, like that, like FBI. Then one jeep after the other. It was like totally cinematic, how you see in movies. So the whole lot of jeeps, and they were all there were soldiers inside the jeep, policemen with guns and all that, and dust was all flying everywhere. It was totally, as I said, absolutely cinematic, and we didn't know what was happening. Suddenly they came and told, you are all under arrest. I said, what? Then Bhuvna and some of the people were there. And not everybody in the troop was under arrest. Those who had come last year, only their names were available to the police department. I think somebody complained that these people are doing some thing here which is illegal or unlawful. And they told, you all have to come with us to the police station. This was noon, around 2 p.m. in the afternoon. And that happened to my birthday also. That was 26th of July, I remember vividly. And I told father, what is going on? He said, I do not know you. Even he was under arrest, they said. I told, what is going on? Then all these police people came and there was a investigating officer. He was quite well behaved, very good English he could speak. And then he said, you all have to come into our cars and you'll have to come to the police station at Enugu. That included Isaac, Tigrid, C. Srinivas, Narasimhamurthy, and me, and a couple of 2, 3 more people who were our hosts in Nigeria, including Father Charles Ogada. So we had not had our lunch. We did not know what to do. And they said, no, there's nothing. You have to come. We said, but we'll have to at least go to our hotel to, which was a couple of kilometers, 3, 4 kilometers away. And we will have to at least have a lunch. They said, okay, we will take you to the hotel, finish whatever you want, and then you accompany us. So we went to the hotel and we did not know how to react. We tried to make a few calls to India to see what is going on, who has done what. They were not telling us anything. They were tight-lipped. We asked, who has even complained against us? Please tell us. They said, all that is secret information we cannot share. There is already a kind of, we have to be arresting you all. Then we all got into the jeeps and cars and followed them. They took us to a police station in Enugu. In India only, in rural police station, if you see how they are, some of you who are come from villages would know. In Enugu, the police station had one bulb, in the whole of the police station. No bathrooms, no drinking water, nothing. There were some broken cars which they might have seized from the people. And dark, absolutely. It was 6 in the evening, I think, by the time we reached there. It was absolutely dark. When we asked where is the washroom, they said there is no washroom. You have to just go wherever you want. Can you give us a bottle of water? They said there is no water. So we all 6 of us, we had only one bottle of water in our car. With that we were managing, just taking a sip. We didn't know what was next. And that was, I think, a Friday night. And then they said, or a Saturday night, something like that, which was weekend. So we told, so tell us what is the issue and why we are here. They said, no, you people are frauds and you have come here to do some fraud, illegal things. So we haven't come to do anything. No, you are coming here collecting money in the name of whatever work your God and things like that. So I said, we do not collect any money. We came here to give actually. We have built a hospital and a school and whatever support. They said, no, that is not true. And then no, they won't answer anything. They won't talk to us. And then they gave us long questionnaires. In the sense, there is a phone call which will come to them and then he will answer this question. And we were given papers to write. And we're sitting like children in this examination hall, writing answers. Who are you? Why you have come? Give your bank account details. What kind of money have you collected here? What kind of message are you spreading? And things like that. We were all confused what is going on. We kept on writing. Once one paper we finished writing, whatever details, another phone call will come, another question will be asked and they'll ask us to write again. And again we will write. Again we will write. Imagine all of us were writing, including Narasimhamurthy and Mr. Isaac Taggart, in a dingy, dark, unplastered walls of the police station with just, as I said, one bulb hanging. I was sitting and writing and writing and writing. It went on. From 6:37 it started. It was 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, midnight it happened. We were still sitting and writing. No washroom, no water, no food. They kept on making us write. After some time, we said, what is going on? We said, no, you are all under investigation because we don't believe whatever you're saying, and there is some very renowned or reputed person who has complained against you. That's all they said. Because of which we cannot take this lightly. If it was some ordinary person, probably okay. But I realized the investigation officer understood that there is something wrong, some misunderstanding is that these people don't seem to be bad people. But the way it was presented to whichever agency, through whichever complaint, so they held us till midnight over there. And after midnight, they told tomorrow morning's flight. Anyway, we were going back the next morning's flight to Lagos. They said, we will all accompany you. And from there, you will have to come to the central, whatever investigation agency, fraud investigation agency in Lagos. No, it's already, we're so tired from the day-long function. No rest, no food. Again, at 12:31, we were kind of taken in cars back to our hotel in Nebe, another hour or so. And then we reached there by 1:32 and we just could manage a little dinner and a shower. And we had to leave because 6:30 was the flight again from Enugu. So we had to quickly take a shower and all of us left at 6:30 for the 6:37 flight. And then in the flight also they were sitting. So we were like surrounded by them. The officers were there. We flew to Lagos. The moment we landed in Lagos, already police jeeps were standing. They all hauled us into the jeeps and said, now let us all go to the investigation agency central office. We didn't know what to do. Because it was Sunday, you can't even make a call. Nothing is working in India. You do not have any offices working here. Whom to call? Which consular general to call? What help to seek? And then we were taken to the FBI type of agency, central agency. And then there was a cameraman standing there to click our photos. And there was a slate also which was ready. So we had to write our name and put our face this way, that way, and get a photo clicked that they were planning to publish. I said, what have we done? Why are you even punishing us? You have no charges, proven. You have nothing. You can't hold us hostages like this without any. They said, no, no, no. There is a complaint from a very big man, and we cannot take it lightly. So they were not ready to answer. So when they first got hold of Father Charles, because he was a Nigerian, so they were very harsh on him because they were treating their people very badly. At least we were slightly, they were careful, but with Father, they were so rude. And the father was a young man. I think he was just in 40 or something at that time. And then he told Father, you write your name, Father Charles Ogada, age and thing. And they made him pick up the slate and they called the cameraman to click the photo like criminals are, photographed and then they're published. I stopped it. I said, this is going somewhere. Please stop it. This is not right. On what basis are you telling? So because we intervened as other countries' citizens, they stopped for a moment. Then our Sri Srinivas was there. We all talked and he made some calls. Luckily, one of the ministers in India picked up the call. And we told him that this is happening here. We do not know how to deal with it. Then he called up the Nigerian Indian consulate and told that something is going on, please go and do something about it. So immediately a call came from the consulate to the FBI or whatever the office of theirs. And then suddenly they became calm. Again, they gave us series of questions and papers to answer, give your bank account details, passport numbers, and this and that. We kept on writing. Imagine we landed at 9 maybe in the office, and till 12:31 we are writing and writing and writing. We asked them, where is the washroom? That's in the other building. No food, nothing. After I complained, they gave us a juice Tetra Pak or something, so that we should have something. We had no breakfast, no lunch, nothing. They kept us like that. We were sitting and writing continuously. And then after some time, the main chief investigating officer called us to his office. And there was this big man who was there who had complained against us. His problem was that we were kind of using the name of Satya Sai Baba and collecting money in Nigeria. This was his complaint because he was somebody from the association with the organization, Satya Sai organization over there. So we told we have not collected any money, nor we are using anybody's name. This is a Christian village. We are doing what we can. Hospital has been opened, schools have been opened. What is your problem? But he was very angry. He said, no, no, you people have to be punished. You should be put in the jail. He was, losing his temper. So the investigation officer asked, what is the problem between you two groups? Why you people are complaining? We said that we believe Satya Sai Baba is not dead. He is very much around and he is guiding us. And he is not, dead in the sense. The other person they asked, is Satya Sai Baba dead? He said, no, Satya Sai Baba is not dead. He can never die. He said, both are you saying the same thing, then why are you fighting? The investigation officer got confused. Then I explained, sir, it's like Catholics and Protestants. Basically, that's how we are. Then he told, oh, yes, in my village too, there are these Catholics and Protestants, they fight all the time, he said. Then he told, this is no issue at all. You are making an issue out of nothing. He understood very quickly, that man. And by the time the Indian Consular General had also come there, whatever from embassy, Indian embassy, and he immediately collected all our, because these people had taken our passports also the previous day. So he collected all the passports back and said, explained to the officer and told this is just a misunderstanding. Please do not take it seriously. Yet, imagine they left us because they had no choice. The Indian government had intervened. Whatever the harassment happened, we thought we will, forget about it and move on. But to Father Charles, they continued to harass for another 1 week. They held him back and kept on investigating how much money came, from where it has come, whose money it is, how have you used, what is the... They really, 1 more week they kept him. So we, of course, came back and the Indian embassy was very nice to us. They gave us a full meal, we got from Indian restaurant. They said, you must not have eaten. He gave us all the food. We ate and, made our way back to our, wherever we were staying, our accommodations. And next morning we had a flight back to India. So, but father was kept for 1 more week with this agency people. They didn't allow him to go. And they kept on probing and asking questions. At the end of it, finally, everything came out that there was no financial fraud or any kind of fraud for that matter. In fact, father had done good to the country of Nigeria because so many people from around the world supported this mission, and they have built a hospital. In fact, even the chief investigating officer, the main head was very appreciative of what was happening. But then they said, we cannot just leave him like that because there is a complaint. We have to investigate if there is any financial, whatever misuse or anything has happened. So that was the episode of setting up the hospital, first hospital in Nigeria. That is what it takes. That's why I said you have to be very determined to do God's work, because it's not easy to just good. When Jesus went around preaching God's gospel, the first reaction of the people was they resisted him, they reacted, they even punished him, right? But finally we persisted, and the next year we went back again. We opened a few more facilities, one more hospital also opened, a small one in a nearby village. We also have a farm there, which we bought for the ashram there, so that people could, make a living by cultivating whatever they do there. There is a cassava, like a thing that they grow. That is their staple food. So they all can, grow that, and with that rice and whatever they grow, they can have food in the ashram as well as they can have an employment. So a lot of good things happened after that too. Next year, when we went back, there was nothing like this. The local administration was intimated. They are well informed. Now, whenever we go, we have all the other agencies looking after our comfort. But that was one episode I wanted to convey, that when you look at all these smiling faces and all the joy and jumping there is a story behind it. And it was quite a shaky story, but father's persistence. Father Charles was a man of God in every way. Unfortunately, we lost him during COVID. He was very sick, and he he succumbed to COVID at that point in time. And I remember his last message to me. He had written a message in the middle of the night in the Nigeria time. When I woke up, I saw he had written, I do not know, it looks like my end is drawing near. What is that I must think? What is that I must say? And I only told him, just remember who you truly are. Just let that be the only thought in your mind, that you are God and none other than God. Meditate on that thought. And he kept on thinking about that, and of course he left the body. And after that, the whole ashram fell into a kind of despair and disarray. But it is to the credit of his sister Chindima and her husband Emmanuel. They took up the mantle from there, and then they said, we will take care of this thing. And then they wanted us to all participate. I told a lot of devotees from around the world, please look after this legacy of Father Charles. He has done what he could do in his lifetime. And when his time was over, God called him back, but then it is our job to continue. And it has only grown since then. The school has become bigger, the hospital is doing much more work, a lot of other camps happen, many other organizations are also working with this organization. And some of the children are studying here. 2 of them who studied here, they're doing their internship now in Nigeria. Those 2 boys, the 2 more have come here to pursue their medicine. So this is how in another country, in a faraway land, you want to do God's work, not easy. But Father never ever denied Bhagwan or me out of the fear of the pressures of people around. Never. He was always stuck to this idea that for him Bhagwan was God, and that is the end of all the discussions. He stood by his convictions, whatever be the challenges. And even for us, we got a glimpse of what can happen in a country like that, where agencies can be easily influenced, and you can go through what you have to go through. But did we give up and run away and said we'll never travel again? Forget Nigeria, we'll not go to any country anywhere. Let us be safe and comfortable in our own India? No. We still continue to travel. This is one story. Like that, I have story for Australia, Fiji, and so many other countries. Another time I will tell you. They were not as bad as this. But this is something that I wanted to convey to our young, budding missionaries, that be ready for whatever it comes your way. You can't chicken out and run away from the battlefield. This is what Arjuna was doing. And Shri Krishna says, nothing doing. This is not right on your part, because this is not your dharma. Your dharma is to fight for the right, fight for the good of all, not for your kith and kin and things like that. That's why I go back and keep emphasizing on this word dharma, dharma. It says, dharmo rakshati rakshitaha, dharmo eva hantaha, he says. Those who destroy dharma are destroyed by dharma. Those who protect dharma are protected by dharma. This is the ultimate eternal truth. And as he said, yato dharma tato Krishna. Wherever there is dharma, there God will come. Wherever God is, dharma will happen there, not sure, because depends on the devotees and disciples. But wherever there is dharma is, God will come there. Yato Krishna, tato Jayaha. Wherever Krishna comes, there has to be victory. How can it be any other way? So we were always on the side of dharma. Father Charles was on the side of dharma. All the devotees were on the side of dharma. So even if there was some whatever misunderstanding and things like that, whatever it took, we were protected by dharma. Because of dharma, God was on our side. Because of God, victory was on our side. So this mission has seen a lot of such challenges in India also and abroad also. In India, at least things are much more in your control and your capacities, because you belong here, you're a citizen of this country. In another country, we do not know. When I asked the consulate general there, Indian consulate general, what is going on here? Does it happen often? They said at least there are 400 Indians trapped in Nigerian jails for various small and big complaints. And our all the time goes in trying to sort that out and get these people. They go for making money or whatever, do a business there, or they go for some other jobs and things like that, but then they get stuck in all that bureaucracy of things, and then one complaint in another country, they are stuck. He said there are people, we keep trying to help them get out of those jails or get released, but it takes a long time. And I asked them, what does the government do? He said, government can do only so much. We can only do diplomacy. It can't enforce itself. It cannot, insist or force them to do anything. You can only use diplomacy to sort any such issues. But there are so many people stuck in jails in different countries, Indians or other country people. This is the state of the affairs. But as I said, we were protected because we were on the side of righteousness, and God was on the side of righteousness on our side. That is why we were protected. Otherwise, we would have been very famous people in Nigeria with our photographs. That jail attire, the prisoner's attire, we never know. So this is what I'm saying. Do good, but do good with this conviction and perseverance that your belief should be full. Half baked ideas and half belief is not going to take us anywhere. That complete conviction in dharma, complete conviction in the good of all, even if challenges come, you must be able to do that, what is you are supposed to do. And that is why I keep repeating the example of Arjuna, because Bhagavad Gita, this is Bhagavad Gita, isn't it? You have two choices. One, run away from there, never return to Nigeria in your lifetime, and be away from such issues in the future. Don't even visit other countries and let the mission not happen. That is one option. The other option is take it as a challenge and face it, fight till the end and finish the game, as I say. Do what is needed to be done, whatever it takes for you, go ahead and do that. So like this mission has taken a lot of twists and turns, but all good. At the end, when I see so many children studying, does it not make us feel happy that these many kids are getting an opportunity, that all these kids are going to school every day, getting to eat their meals, and are safe, more importantly, are safe in a schooling environment. Girls are safe, boys are safe. They're looking forward to a life of a good employment, good education, and finally they will be looking after their own communities. No, is it amazing? The children being born in the hospital, the patients being treated, all for free. There is no charges whatsoever anywhere. And mind you, Nigerian economy is not very good at this point of time. I was told inflation is, I don't know, 300% or something like that. So our Murli is there from who is in charge of coordinating. So he keeps traveling to Nigeria every now and then, and he comes back and brings all the news from there. And he was telling me that how expensive things have become. What you could buy for, there is in Nigeria, I think it's called Nigerian lira or something like that. That currency has depreciated badly, and people are not able to buy basic things like bread and medicine and stuff like that, and they're suffering. So he asked on this Christmas we should increase their salaries, we should also give them some gifts. That he does. But I'm thankful. I wanted to highlight this Nigeria ashram because everybody should know what's going on in each of these places. More importantly, in a difficult country like Nigeria, and how the whole world. Last time when we were there, when Emmanuel and Chindima said we need more support, We talk to devotees from around the world. So every month they send the support. They just finished building a community kitchen for them so that they can cook more food for everyone comfortably. Likewise, things have grown ever since. And I'm grateful on behalf of these kids and their parents and families, and on behalf of the staff of Tela as well as Joy Village, to all the devotees from around the world. They contribute, they contribute $50, $100, whatever they can do for a month, and all that is consolidated and sent to Nigeria. So also a lot of other people help from around the world. To all of them, much gratitude. And if they are able to smile and say a happy new year, they say we are grateful that they love us. It's because of the good that we have done. And if we had lost our faith or conviction, and if we had run away from the battlefield in those years of whatever you call it, insult, embarrassment, injury, then probably this would not have been the future of that place, especially after father left. But today it's a bright future, children are growing well. This is what it takes to believe in God and believe in good. And this is the courage that it requires. That's why I say spirituality is not for the weak. It's only for the courageous. Swami Vivekananda also said that. This is not for the weak. It is only for the courageous. Spiritual path is for the courageous, not for the weak-minded. Worldly path is for the weak people because you can always compromise on your values and ethics. In spirituality, there is no compromise. What you have decided, you must do. You can't lie to God. You can't lie to yourself. Therefore, spirituality is for the courageous, is what it says. It takes courage to do good in this world. So be selfless, be fearless, and be shameless when it comes to doing good. You feel too ashamed and insulted, you can't come back to do more good. So this is one of the practical stories I thought I will just share. And I have written about it in that book also. But this is first hand, as they say, from the horse's mouth. Okay, but be good and do good. That's more importantly, whatever it takes. Okay.